Hey everyone, this is really big news. This just came down the wire. Denis Villeneuve? I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not French, so cut me a little slack. To direct next James Bond film. The Dune director will take on the inaugural 007 movie for Amazon MGM. Now, I've heard this name actually floated around for certain circles, and listen, I've never been a big fan of Dune. I read the book. I got 530 pages in it. I ditched it. I said, this is too boring. So that's not my thing. I believe he also directed... Didn't he also direct Valerian? Which wasn't a huge hit on this side of the Atlantic because nobody knows what it is. Personally, I thought maybe somebody like Luc Besson, who directed Lucy, which is the Scarlett Johansson movie. I thought maybe he would get the nod, but hey, let's show you what I know. Denis Villeneuve is going from Dune to 007. The filmmaker has been tapped to direct the next James Bond movie, the first from Amazon MGM. Denis will also serve as executive producer alongside Tanya Lapointe. As previously announced, Amy Pascal and David Heyman will serve as producers. Some of my earliest movie-going memories are connected to 007. I grew up watching James Bond films with my father ever since Dr. No with Sean Connery. I'm a die-hard Bond fan. Well, that's good. To me, he's sacred territory. I intend to honor the tradition and open the path for many new missions to come, said Denis. This is a massive responsibility, but it's also incredibly exciting for me and a huge honor. Well, at least there's a guy who feels it's an honor. Pascal and Heyman added, Denis has been in love with the James Bond movie since he was a little boy. It was always his dream to make this movie, and now it's ours too. We are lucky to be in the hands of this extraordinary filmmaker. Bond is one of the most sought-after franchises from filmmakers. Reportedly, studio directors who have met for this film have included Edward Berger, Edgar Wright, and Paul King. I noticed there's one name that's not in there, and I'll get to that in a second. Villeneuve was last in theaters with Dune Part 2, which earned over $700 million at the box office, and a Best Picture nomination. Currently, he is working on a third Dune film, which is scheduled to shoot this summer. It's unclear when Bond will begin production, but the search is underway for a screenwriter who will work with Villeneuve to bring the newest incarnation of the secret agent to the big screen. The new Bond will mark the franchise's 26th title and will be the follow-up to 2021's No Time to Die, which was directed by Akira Joji Fukunaga. The next film will also mark the first Bond outing following Amazon's $8.45 billion takeover of the 007 long-standing backer, MGM. Okay, first a couple things. I noticed one name that wasn't mentioned was Christopher Nolan. And to me, that I think that was a pipe dream on behalf of a lot of fans. Yeah, okay. Oh, Christopher Nolan. I've been hearing Christopher Nolan for years. And it's something that people have always thought, well, it's addition by just the name association. I don't believe that. I'm not a huge fan of Christopher Nolan. Some people love him. I'm like, I could take it or leave it. But people always say The Dark Knight. I'm like, yeah, The Dark Knight, but that was almost 20 years ago. Can we get past The Dark Knight? And the thing about Christopher Nolan is, yeah, okay, it was a big name, but what was he going to do? You don't know what he was going to do. If it was just going to be another dark and gritty Bond movie, I'm like, who needs it? They have a director. They don't have a script. They don't have an actor. How close are we to getting a new Bond? And the other thing about the script is, a lot of people want a period piece. Oh, well, Bond should be a period piece. Everybody has their ideas. Bond should be a period piece. Should take place in the 60s. Well, you're only saying that because you can't imagine Bond not taking place in the 60s. Bond has always kept up with the times. This is even going back to the Roger Moore era. I mean, I think a lot of people are stuck in thinking that actors, there can only be one actor playing a part. Kind of like Chris Evans in Captain America. Oh, this guy is Bond. Like, he's an actor. Granted, not every guy's going to be good, but, at some point, they come in and there'll be a new guy. The other part about this is, I'm like, there's a lot of people that are screaming for an Old Man Bond movie. Like, I want no part of Old Man Bond. I want no part of Old Man Bond. Just because that, okay, let's just say you have Old Man Bond, you have Pierce Brosnan coming back, and he's Bond in his 70s. Well, you have two choices. It's his last movie, or you have to reboot again. I want no part of either of those. Just give me another Bond. Pick up right where Die Another Day was supposed to leave off in the next movie, and just give me a new Bond movie. And that's the thing. This is a series that can go for as long as you want it, because there is a soft reboot every time you say James Bond will return. I'm like, okay, God, cool, James Bond will return. You don't question how. No, you know why they do that? Because they can. This is the one film series where you don't need to get bogged down in a whole heaping dose of backstory. Fly off somewhere cool, use a bunch of cool gadgets, drive fast cars, shoot a bunch of bad guys, float away on a raft with the silly named femme fatale. End scene. I mean, I'm really hoping that he knows what he's doing. I'm really hoping he does tap it, because I want an honest-to-goodness Bond movie. I know people are embarrassed by Austin Powers, okay? But that was 25 years ago.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin Powers, Archer, love them. But you know what? People have to put that aside. So, yeah, you know what? This may look a little silly, but we don't care. Kingsman proved it works. People often ask me, well, what would I do in a Bond movie? I said I would fill it with as much smoking, drinking, over-the-top violence, car chases, shootouts, casual sex, and as much gratuitous action as you'd ever want to see in a Bond movie. It would be hailed as the greatest cinematic achievement ever, or it would be a complete failure. There would be no in between. And you know what? That's what I want in a Bond movie. Again, Kingsman proved it works. This can work. The formula works. It worked for 50 years. There's no reason why it can't work now. You need a competent screenwriter and a good director. Hopefully we've got one of those. All right, everyone. I'm sure I'll be back somewhere to talk about this with someone. But I'm hoping for the best. All right, like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time.